Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bulldogs Sports Network. I'm Brett Swinney. Got Corey Marshall and Vincent Johnson here for this week's wrap-up show. Guys, how's y'all's week been going?
It's good so
Could
far.
be better. Could be better.
Yeah.
I won't complain.
Yeah. Hey, we're here doing this show. I guess that's a good thing. We're surviving these days.
Right.
All right.
Cool.
Well, guys, while people get on, we'll start by thanking everybody for tuning in to our broadcast. I've been going live before and after the games, kind of just seeing if anybody has questions. So I'm going to try to continue to do that. So if y'all like that, let us know. May try to steal somebody to try to come on air with me, on occasion. So y'all feel free to tune in. I guess the first thing we can do is kind of revisit what scores were picked. Corey, I'm going to throw that to you. You got those scores for this past week's game. I know I was way off in the offensive category. Almost the same score as the week before. It was almost a mirror score. I guess I should have picked the same score.
Yeah. Adam. Yeah. Shout out to Adam. Ironically, he didn't have. He actually picked some winners this week. He was 35-7, so it was 35-16. So he was the closest one.
What did I pick? What did I say? Did I say 28 or something?
You said 52-17.
I said 52.
52-17.
So you were a little.
I had 62.
You were close on the one score. Yeah.
I was sipping the Kool-Aid. Said 52.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Honestly, no one was really close. Nobody
said 28. I thought I said 28. No.
You were thinking about the Longhorns.
All right.
That's the sore subject.
Not today.
I'm just going to warn if Christian Evans comes on here tonight, we might have to ban him tonight. So just be careful. Be careful what you say. That's a sore subject. We're not here to talk about that. Well, I won't even call it a game. It was a destruction or
embarrassment.
Whooping. I don't know what it was. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Bulldog football. So, okay, so go around and kind of talk about what y'all's thought, like what y'all's one takeaway that y'all took away from last week's game.
For me, I only really have one thing to say about that sums up the entire game for me, and that is response. That's something that you don't really see a whole lot at the high school level. It's something that I talk about with Brett. I know we've talked about it before. It's like, man, you got to be able to respond to what's happening on the field. Sometimes people at this level anyway, they just keep running the same stuff over and over again, hoping that it'll catch fire. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell here they realized that, all right, that ain't working. We finna have to switch it up a little bit, And so for me, it was the response. And also I had a couple of notes because I've been giving a lot of shout outs to McGregor and Tyson Berry and them, but I got some stats up right here and the stats weren't even what hyped me up about giving these shout outs out. Just watching the game. First of all, your boy, and I don't even mean to call him a boy because clearly this is a grown man. This grown man. I'm sorry. Like I'm pretty sure this dude got 2 kids, a wife, mortgage, and a car note. Austin Watkins, that dude right there is a grown man out there playing ball. That's a grown man. It's a grown man. Just flat out. Just flat out. I seen that dude do some stuff.
For eligibility purposes, I hope he's not.
Yeah. yeah. But I'm just 6'6". I looked at Max Prep got him here at 6'6". I'm like 6'6". Junior?
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. That's a grown man.
Yeah. You should see him on the basketball court, Mr. Johnson.
Man.
Yeah.
Bro. And speaking of We'll talk off camera because I got some stuff to tell y'all. Also, J.K. Davis, that's a grown man. Man, J.K. Davis, bro, like between
you talking about the what he laid this week,
bro. I mean, I jumped up out of my seat. I was like, ooh, wee.
Yeah, I did a little yell.
And then Solomon, bro. Listen, these are grown men I'm calling out today. These are grown men. I saw some big plays. I was like, man, like, listen, Solomon ain't letting nothing get by him. When you get on that island with Solomon, bro, that's it. That's it. You out there by yourself. You know, he ain't letting nothing get by him, bro. Samari Willis. Yeah, that's another one. Samari Willis, man, grown man business, bro. Like, I mean, I saw some big plays. And I think that's what really for me, I think that kind of made a little bit of the difference in what we were in what they experienced Friday night, as far as like Hallsville, whenever they realized that the game was starting to slip away. Because they kind of marched a little bit. Third down come, bam, J.K. Davis on tap. And it's like, bro, like, all right, 3, we gone. They get on the field, they make a play, they come back. You know, they thinking they're going to march a little bit. They're going to march a little bit more. They throw one up McFloyd right there. I mean, you know, it's just they was making plays when they needed to, man. And it's just, number one, the offense is cold. We know that. But, man, I don't think I have given enough credit to the defense. So, for me, man, that defense is ridiculous, man. And they basically shut them out in the second half. They shut them out in the second half, man. But again, those guys I called up, man, they grown men out there playing ball. They first and foremost, there's a lot of talent on this team that needs to go to the next level. That I think can really make it at D1. You know, they can play D1 next level. So I don't know who's listening. Hopefully, Texas. Hope y'all listening. Y'all need to get down here and see these boys. Because they playing ball, and you know you need them. I ain't gonna talk about it again, but you know you need them, especially after last week. So I'm sorry, I went on too long. Go ahead.
I mean, I just want to say this. No, they're not grown men. Just in case someone else is eavesdropping.
Yeah. I'm joking when I say
they're all eligible. They're all eligible.
They all eligible.
so
but the
no,
boys 16.
I mean, you know, overall, like, I was more concerned with, like I said, the trap game. And I knew Hallsville wasn't going to be a big pushover. I looked at the score. Yeah, I was, you know, the score is the score. That's a prediction. But, you know, deep down inside your gut feeling is, you know, hey, Hallsville's not going to be a pushover. Yeah, I'm just happy we weathered that storm because it's not going to get easier. You know, and that perseverance, you know, when the game got testy, you know, I've sent y'all text messages. I'm like, you know, Hallsville's up to the usual. You know, it's just something about Hallsville I never liked. That's just me personally. It's always been a little. It's always been a little extra with Hallsville, always.
Yeah.
And
Corey,
you know, it was a little
Vince,
extra.
I want to ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever heard of a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, both teams called like that? I think Corey and I talked about that. I don't think we had. Vince, have you ever heard that call in the game? The entire team on both sides.
Not the entire team. Now I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think. Wasn't it a year ago? No, 2 years ago when we did have something like that. Remember something kind of transpired like that one time. I was up there in the booth fired up.
I just don't think it was. I just don't feel like it was the whole team that was called for it.
No, it wasn't the whole team.
It got out of hand.
It kind of got out of hand. The emotions ran high.
Where it derived from. So I mean,
and again, like I was saying, they shut them out in the second half, man. They getting mad. Because they went in that first half feeling good, like we got them. And again, this is their third. That was their third loss. So that, remember, I was saying like, you know, don't take them lightly because they hungry. And again, this is why they got frustrated because it was working, and all of a sudden it wasn't. And so they got a little hot. You know, we got a little hot, and
after a while, like you saying, like the game. I'm glad this happened, and it's not gonna get easier because center's gonna come out. Now I hope we come out with a different fire, and we'll get into that here momentarily. But I'm just glad we responded. I'm happy about how we responded when we persevered.
Yes.
First time we've been down, the
That's
team
the
kind of
word
took
that I was
control of
going
the
to
game,
use.
and
Present.
and they stood tall, and so they needed that. And so
Yeah.
this is a good win, a good mental roadblock win, especially when things aren't going your way. They kind of found a way to
True.
make stops down the stretch, and like I said before, when the keys in week one in the preseason, the pregame, we were talking about it early on in the season. I said, who's gonna step up and make plays? You got to find those guys who will step up and make plays down the stretch, and eventually that's happened. So I'm just happy to be along for the ride, man. It's kind of getting more clear now. So
Yeah, you took the word I was going to use right out of my mouth, Corey. Perseverance was the word I was going to use for this week's game. I saw a team like the first and a half quarters get completely, I wouldn't dominated pretty much. I mean, on the line, like our line was getting pushed back. We kept running the ball and it wasn't going anywhere. The Racks got it. They were already basically making the tackle on, and I saw them turn another gear. That stop they made, the fourth down when Hallsville was went for it. They're late in the first half, second quarter, where we made the stop and then we turned that into a 7-point swing. I think I made the comment during the game that this is a big play. I said this could turn the tide if Hallsville's able to make and score and extend their lead, and if Chapel Hill's able to stop them, it's a momentum swing going into the second half. And they took that play, scored a touchdown, got within two at the half, and didn't turn back after that. Center never scored. I mean, center, not I'm already in center. Hallsville never scored again. So I think that was a big key to me is the way they persevered. Like I know at halftime, um, whatever was said, I don't know what was said, but I'm sure there was some things
We say
said to get them fired up. Yeah, I mean, because it's just like they kind of just came out lethargic, like oh, we're here, it's just Hallsville, we're gonna show up and win. And Hallsville had some guys, some big boys, like who were what was the guy's name? Let's see if I got their
the wide
stats
receiver.
here. Yeah, well, he was a receiver and the running Nicholson. That guy was a baller. Somebody needs to see that guy. He lined up. He had 5 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown in the air, and then on the ground he had 18 for 77. I mean, he was a lot of their offense, and a lot of that was in the first half. Probably didn't have as much, but he impressed me. For Hallsville, the little quarterback was pretty good, but overall, it was really it wasn't. It was like we didn't want it there at the first as badly as we did. It was their homecoming. I don't know if y'all could tell online, but fans were packed. Like this team hasn't won many games in the last several years. And I think Logan and I commented about it. But there wasn't hardly a seat in the house. You wouldn't think there was anything COVID going on at all. Like it was. I mean, completely packed, and we had to actually got through the whole mess, even getting the stadium. It was so many fans there. You got to give a credit to Hallsville. They had the fan support and they had the momentum at first, and then it's like once Chapel Hill swung it around to their favor, it kind of killed their momentum, and they were able to kind of coast the rest of the game. But I mean, that was what impressed me, just being able to go against. They started off low, also started off well. The fans are in it, and they were able to get all those things on the road and turn it around and get the W, and a convincing against a 5A opponent.
Yeah, I mean, man, like I always say, like you just the game don't start until until the other team come back. They fire back at you. They punch you in the mouth, and then you play. Then you play. I mean, blowing people out is fun and all. It's good, but it's not what football really is. That's just the unevenness of teams out there together. But football is when you have to grind it out, when you have to stick it out. Yeah.
If you flash back here that we were runner-up in state, we blew everybody out almost that season.
Yeah.
And so we weren't in many games, and we got down to the championship. It was a close game, and we really didn't know how to win those kind of games.
Exactly.
So I think
you didn't
that's
know how to handle being in a close game.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that that's I think what did us in. We just weren't used to playing that kind of game, and we just kind of had to play it on a whim, and the kids are ready for that kind of game. Yeah. They've been averaging 28, 35 points, just killing everybody. I think that was why the next year when they had all the adversity, they had the injuries, they had the close games, they had those things. They never thought they were going to lose.
That's the team you should be afraid of. Never be a team. Right. Never be afraid of the team that's blowing you out, blowing people out. Because to be honest with you, they don't know how to lose. They don't know how to grind out points. They don't know how to deal with that team that's keeping up with.
I was at every game. We were going to lose. I thought we were going to lose those games that year. I mean, I was there, and I mean, the deep down in me, I wanted to believe we were going to win, but the human was like, man, this game is over. We might as well just go ahead and head out. Some people left some of those games, and I never left the games because if you don't know me, I don't leave games early.
We don't leave games. I remember because I don't leave games like that.
I can count on like one hand of the times I've left games early. And
I mean, sometimes you can just look at it.
There was one game I left early, and that was a couple years ago. I think we were together, Brett.
Was that the Lufkin? We went to Lufkin. Did you go to me to Lufkin? We played somebody.
I can't remember what team. I can't remember what team they were playing though. But I remember I was so ready to go. I was like, I ain't never done this before, but I'm ready.
West Columbia.
I was so frustrated. Huh?
No, we beat them both times we played them.
Yeah.
That was a game that we were.
I know I went to the Bay. I went to Waco when we played Navasota that game, and I remember that game very well. And I told my people that my family I was sitting with, I was like, I don't think this team's gonna lose any games. I really don't think so.
First comment here.
Oh, I've been there, saw that break. You don't want to read that one.
I know. I said
Rob out here trolling.
I know.
Yeah, I caught that one on the side about 5 minutes ago. I didn't say that. I was like, wait till the next one pops up. Your boy Blevins is in here too.
Yeah, Blevins is here.
They all firing their shots.
I also said Pine Tree. I said Pine Tree with the upset, so that's nothing new. Maybe we both said it at the same time, but I said Pine Tree beat Kilgore. Can
we get a win-loss record of the last week? Because I think me and you might beat somebody else in this chat.
I didn't have all of the scores. I think we spoke. of games, but the only one that I was off with was Salina and Argyle. That's the only loss that I had because I picked Salina over Argyle.
I had Kilgore over Pine Tree. That's my loss. I'm pretty sure the other guy in this window. I think Vince might have lost to because I think he had Lindale. I think he took Lindale.
Yeah, he picked Lindale over Van.
And Van is not.
I did. I did. Yeah.
I don't know.
But remember, that was the game I wasn't sure about either. I was like, man, I don't know because I don't feel like Lindale is what they were. But I'm gonna go with them because they got so many kids. That's what I was banking on.
Well, let's just say that we are now.
It's Argyle. I know that. I didn't pick against Argyle.
I don't know who would do that. Who would pick against Argyle?
I don't know.
Do we have anybody else that
they're going to lose?
Do we have anybody else? Hey Corey, do we have anybody else that picked with us that was in our chat? I know we had several people pick. I don't know.
I can't remember. I tell you what, I didn't write all of the scores down for like each one to pick, but I will this week. So I remember some of
Okay.
those. I remember off my head of some of the games and stuff. I remember because we were laughing about the individual picks, but
So
I will
so
be
here's
I
the
will
deal
be
with
holding
that.
those true.
When we do our picks, anybody that wants to participate is listening or in the chat, some picks, and to beat us, we'll bring you on air the next week. How about that? You can come on air and you can join in the conversation with us. But you have to
Well, there's a warning.
defeat us.
There's a warning. There will not be any Longhorn slander, banter,
Yep.
anything of that nature.
None.
This is all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Will not
Yeah.
be tolerated.
It will not be tolerated. I'm just saying. Just warning. Just throwing it out there. You can talk about the Cowboys all you want to,
All you
but
want to.
I mean,
Ain't got
hey,
nothing to do with me. Ain't got
with the
nothing to do with me.
Longhorns, this is a unified front.
Port Neches, Casey says that was probably responding to us earlier. We talking about where the game was.
Oh yeah, talking about PNG
Mhm.
and Lufkin. We play Lufkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that
Let's see
was
what.
Gonna go.
Let's see what. I had some games pulled up a second ago. Look, I think. Where is it? Maybe if I can find it. Let's see.
some good games.
Now they haven't.
By the way.
Yeah, there are some good ones, and I was going back on it last week, and they still haven't updated us in the app. But we are. I looked today. We're ranked 5 now in Dave Campbell's. The only team left in the district since Lindale lost last week. Now I saw Van moved up in the 4A Division 2. I believe they are number 9, I think, after beating Lindale. So they got some props that win. Yeah. So I think we all had Hinton, I believe. And of course Corey's the one that had Pine Tree.
Somebody picked Palestine over Rusk. I don't remember who did. I think Vince did.
Oh,
But somebody had Palestine.
oh yeah, I had Rusk. I was Coach
Wait,
Sitton
no,
and the
I
Rusk
picked
Eagles.
Russ. I didn't pick no Palestine.
Somebody picked Palestine.
Why would I pick
It wasn't you, my
Palestine?
bad.
Corey didn't write it down because
Why would I pick Palestine?
Vince is gonna try to train his pick. You know he is, so you have to write
I ain't
it
gonna
down.
change my pick. Y'all telling them stories.
So somebody picked Palestine.
I know I didn't because I remember distinctly saying I'm going with Thomas Sitton, and
I'm
we talked
pretty sure
about
we both went with Russ. I think I
we
went.
talked
both
about
went with-
we talked about the McCowan boys that play
Yeah.
playing at Russ because they didn't want to compete against their cousins at Jacksonville for a job.
Yeah.
Of course, Athens. I think we all had Athens.
Over Fairfield.
And yeah,
I see now. I'm gonna have to write my own picks down.
Christian Blevins, he had Solana. Argyle. Yeah. I'm telling you, Argyle will lose. They're due for a loss.
Listen to this though. Listen to this. Salina lost 23-0, and they kept their ranking the same. They didn't drop even. It's like, oh, that's respect. Y'all lost by 23 to Argyle. Okay, y'all can keep your ranking. They stay number 3.
I mean,
you know why? Because Argyle is a pro team.
Wash. It's a wash.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. So y'all got anything you want to talk about this week's game? I mean, I can kind of go down some stats. I mean, I looked this up just a little bit ago, and we carried the ball a lot. And I realized that during the game they ran a lot, and it
didn't seem like it during the game until you really look at these numbers and.
I felt a lot because it was like ran at the beginning. We ran, stopped us. We ran, they stopped us. Like they had Deuce on as down as you could have possibly.
They did what they had to do with Deuce. They did what they had. Much respect.
I believe that he still had 65 yards.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna say this.
And that was with
I was always told.
I didn't realize Tyler Jones had 91. Rush.
I was always told you can't stop great players. Let them. They always get their numbers. So no matter what happens, you can't stop good players and great players. So you double team, triple team.
He got 65, man. They just kept him out of the end zone, but they put all that pressure on him, and then again, Watkins, he came through and just he picked up where he left off, man. Like again, I think Brett said it a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if there's a group of receivers in the district like this. You know, like all of them. It don't matter. You can shut down one if you want to. It don't matter because there's
more than district. I'd say state. Like in 4A, is there in 4A for sure?
Yeah,
like I don't see you line up 4 receivers out there with that kind of talent. I don't see. I mean,
and they young, man. This group is young.
These are big play wide receivers. These are big play wideouts. It's one pass catch gone. It's good. Open field, it's a wrap. So I will say this about this week's game. I'm gonna say this. Of course, you're gonna game plan. You can game plan. You can write everything on the board. You can do all other kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the only thing I'm putting on the board is last year's score. I'm putting
this
it on
week.
the board and I'm putting everybody's locker room all day. I said this doesn't happen again. There's on that, we game plan all week. That's fine. That's perfect. Game plan all week. But the way that we got beat doesn't happen again. No. And I'm pretty sure there's a reason why it's on homecoming. First home game, homecoming game. And then we got to play the team that beat us pretty bad. Oh yeah. And there's nothing more you need to say about a revenge game. It's just do what you're supposed to do, but do it extra aggressive.
Just get it done, man. Just get it done. Period.
Let's put a stamp on it. Let's put a stamp on it. You know, I hate that for a Chapel Hill guy, Ricky Meeks. I hate that for a Chapel Hill guy, but you know, you're gonna have to take this L on your chest. You gotta take it.
Listen,
it's gonna be a tough one. He inherited.
I don't hate it. You know, I don't hate it because
I mean,
it is what it is. It is what it is. You suit up. You know what it is. You know what time it is. If I don't get him, he gonna get me. What you want me to do? Somebody gotta win. Somebody gotta lose.
I'm just. Once you Chapel Hill, you're always Chapel Hill, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh, after the game, yeah. Much love, much respect.
Yeah. But
my own brother stood up against me, and this. But after the game, hey, we're gonna sit down and eat. We're gonna chat it up.
I was gonna say you have to babysit. You got to hold his L. You have to babysit
it. Yeah. So Tyler Jones had another great day. He didn't have any yards and as many passes. He didn't throw the ball as much. 14 for 19 for 212 yards and 3 touchdowns. QB rating of 149.6.
12.
I mean.
And then like I said, he had 91 yards rushing, man. That's still 300 yards offense.
He hadn't thrown more than 20 passes.
Yeah, he's got 24 in the Livingston game. He's 41 for 58 on the year for 878 yards.
Dude,
so
he's almost
45.5
3 games, bro.
You got mad.
Yeah, 145.5 QB rating.
Again, I can't say enough about him. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it here too. Corey, I know we said it on the I said it on the podcast. I really feel like Tyler Jones might be the best quarterback Chapel Hill may have had that I've seen. Like this dude is accurate, man. Like, and it ain't even that he's accurate. He's calm in the pocket, man. Like I'm watching him, and he keeps doing it. The pressure's coming, blitz coming through, blind side. He just steps up in the pocket. One time they chased him out of the pocket. He not one time just decided, let me just go, take it up on myself and go. He kept his eyes downfield at the receiver and then launched it. And I'm like, bro, like, when have you seen anybody else here do that? You know? At that point,
I don't know.
Somebody finna get out of there. And no disrespect to none of the other quarterbacks we've ever had. They all been dope. You know what I'm saying? We had some dope quarterbacks. Don't get it twisted. So for me to hand that to Tyler Jones like that, that's a big thing to me. Because I played with one of what I think is one of the best. So
and I mean he has a different set of skills. I'm just gonna say this. He looks different in a good way.
In a good way, man.
You know how different, you could tell quarterbacks but he just looks like a different type of quarterback. We've seen the Michael Vick-esque
in
Cameron Ford last year. We saw his playmaking ability, I mean, now we see Tyler Jones playmaker. He can still run, and I seen him just gun it. Now I
He's
seen him
got
just
to
gun
almost
some passes.
It's
he's
not
got
that
to
he
almost
can't
think.
run; he can definitely run. But the
Yeah, he's got
idea that he can
combo
evade
skill
the
set.
pressure and still make the pass, he still make the throw. You
Well,
know, like
he
that's
doesn't give on the play very fast. He waits on the play to develop. He stays
yeah.
in the
He wait
pocket,
on it.
and if he absolutely has to run, he has that ability where he could just and go. Whereas last year, I
He
think,
does have
and
a luxury of
no,
having
yeah, no
4 good
disrespect to
wide
Cam,
receivers.
but I think he would give up on the play. He was more of a
Yeah,
run first quarterback where he give up on the play before the receivers are able to kind of
yeah. I'm not.
work their
Yeah, I'm
way
not
open and
disrespecting
go.
none of the guys before.
Yeah,
Those
No, it's
those
not a
guys are
knock
it's
on
dope
just
anybody.
in their own way.
he's
Don't get me
just
wrong. The reason
he's
I give
just
it to him is
different.
because I'm saying that from a
It's a
standpoint of
different
what I'm
style.
looking at, it ain't even just about the fact that he can make the play by getting out of the pocket and running. He can still make the play by evading the pressure and throw it downfield. You know, and it's like that's just a whole nother level of deadly. You gotta respect him. You as a defense, look at it from a defensive standpoint. When you get pressure on him, your DBs can't give up on the play. You know, they can't because he can still make it.
Yeah,
You
last
know?
year what would happen toward the end is they were sending a lot of guys at Cam and making him have to read the defense and sit in the pocket more, which wasn't his strength. He
Yeah,
was more, let's get out on the edge and roll and throw there. So I think that's the main difference that I see.
yeah.
They're both equally athletic, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think Tyler's got another year to grow into it, but
That's the scary part.
I think his IQ at the quarterback position
It's
is
just
very scary
man.
because he's able to read.
I don't
He doesn't have to go on one guy. He's got if he doesn't see his first read, he's able to
yeah,
look over and
like
see his second and third read.
to me, they gotta be talking about him at the next level already. They gotta be looking at him like, yeah, I think I want him over here. Cause he got something that you don't see a lot of people with. You know, he got something I don't think you see a whole lot of people with. I mean, at one point, I think Brett, you said it during the game. It was towards the end, and there was two receivers that kind of ran a similar route, and the DB gave up on the route because the player ran over 4 or 5 seconds. He kind of gave up on the route, and they was out there by themselves. And he just lobbed it up, and one of them caught it and went into the end zone. And I think you said like, well, that safety can't do it by itself. He can't guard both of them.
Well,
You know?
I remember that play, and I think the safety went to Deuce, which was the smart play. That's the one that Samari Willis caught down the middle. Is one you're referring
Yes,
to,
yeah, yeah.
and that's his touchdown catch because the safety had to choose, and he made the right choice. He's going to cover Deuce because that's his go-to man, but
Mm-hmm.
it left an equal talented Samari Willis wide open. He basically walked in the end zone right there.
I mean, they were just standing there they were standing right next to each other.
Yeah.
What are you gonna tell coach? What am I gonna do? I got
What
called.
what you want me to do? You put me back here by myself.
Do?
Your DB left me. He turned around and went back.
Now I'm gonna sound like Ha Ha Davis. What are you doing? You left him wide open, Bucko.
All right, guys. All right, we got Judson in here with his first chat of the night. Willis has impressed me with his receiving abilities. No way a linebacker or safety is covering him. Yeah, that was definitely the case.
Not at all.
Thanks.
It's just they've got so much talent at receiver, you just don't normally see him out that far, but definitely he's got the ability to do it. So that's when you've got that many running backs.
I just
want to be clear.
How
many wide receivers are juniors?
Why
starting wide receivers? How many of them are juniors?
What?
Three. McFoy is the only senior.
Yeah. That's crazy. McFoy's the only senior. The only senior. Yeah.
All right. I'm done shaking my head.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much.
Hey, don't forget. Hey, for the first action of the season, we had the other freshman got the ball. Did y'all notice Ricky Stewart got in the game? His first action on varsity as a freshman. Talking about a dynamic duo. I mean, he got in the game and had some pretty impressive runs. Let's see, what was his stat? He had 3 carries for 25 yards. That's 8.3 yards per carry. I mean, you had him and Brisbane in the backfield. I mean, that's what you're looking forward to in the future. Already on varsity.
Freshman or sophomore?
Well, it's listed as a sophomore, but he's a freshman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
But man. Yeah, and Christian, you're not gonna get on with those kind of comments.
That's what I said. I just saw his comments and why couldn't Texas beat Arkansas? I don't know. I don't know.
Did you?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have all the
we're gonna overlook that. You in timeout.
I don't know.
You in timeout.
I'm gonna answer him. I'm gonna answer him. I just don't know. I don't think Texas. I don't think
they weren't ready.
I don't think they understand what the SEC is and what they're in for.
They're about to find out.
And I think they just got a taste of it in Arkansas because Arkansas is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to SEC, and they got handed.
I'm gonna say this, just like Aaron Rodgers, RELAX.
Nah, you don't relax after getting hit by one of the weakest teams in the SEC.
Relax. What are we pressed for? Yeah. We're not in the SEC yet. What are we pressed for?
Not yet. You're right. Not yet.
Okay.
It's coming.
Okay.
Hey, Christian. Christian's he's trying to redeem himself here.
I agree with y'all 100 about Tyler. Yeah,
he's still blocked.
I'm gonna start. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start granting these guys over here. I'm gonna grant them nicknames. Can I do that?
Sure.
So I'm gonna call Tyler here. I think I'm gonna call him Tyler the Creator. I like that.
Okay.
Because he can make some magic happen out there.
Well, and the nice thing that he's been able to do is, as a junior, he doesn't have a lot of pressure on him. With the weapons that he's got, I mean, they're going to make any quarterback look impressive, but he's just making it that much, I guess, making his stock rise that much more by what we're seeing in him. Like, he could easily just, first route's kind of open. Let me just dump it over here to Deuce. Let Deuce make a play. But, like, he's able to get some guys, let them run some routes and throw them into some plays on being open that I really wasn't expecting from him this early. I don't know about y'all. I mean, just from not having varsity experience.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
you know, if I'm coaching the team, I'm fine with that. We're playing with house money right now. Only thing we're doing is, and I said this, I didn't mention this before, but I was trying to say it with the team now. It's whenever you get a program, you got to teach the team how to win games. And so when you haven't won as many, you know, and last year, like I said, we kind of shot up. All of a sudden, we started winning football games. We started winning late, and we kind of got on the roll. Then that team kind of carries that experience over to winning football games. When you're down and when you're up, you have to sustain the lead and keep going. Now you can kind of see this team persevering a little bit. The scary part is not this year, it's next year.
Next year.
I told Vince, like, whatever happens this year, this is just we're playing.
It don't even matter.
Right now.
It really don't matter.
This year is playing. We're playing with house money right now. Next year, hey man, you cancel that. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. I don't want to talk too much about that. I'm getting excited. I don't want to talk too much about that.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all ready to talk about the center game then? I guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
Absolutely.
We kind of wrap that one up. I mean, I would say my wrap-up assessment of Hallsville's game, just from getting to call it and watch it, we didn't play well, came out slow.
Man.
We turned it on when we needed to and beat a team we should have beaten, and we move on. I think
you know what
we learned the penalties. The penalties need to be cleaned up.
Yeah,
and we need to start the game off a little faster. Overall, I think we played well. It was a 5A team, so I think we just take a couple of those things and move on. And the center, and like Corey said earlier, there should be no need for anybody to not be fired game. This is like from calling this game last year in the little rinky-dink center press box. But I don't know how many times we had to call center up the middle for a touchdown, 60-something yard. Like, I don't know how many up the middle touchdowns.
I was like, no, I'm not going there. I was like, nah, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to sit there.
Cam Ford got knocked out. I believe actually Tyler Jones may have played some in that game last year. I don't really recall for sure, but I know Cam Ford was out in the first half or at the end. He got knocked out. He didn't play the second half. I mean, the game was over. They couldn't tackle anybody if they just laid down on the ground and let them. I mean, that game it was
What
was
was the
awful.
score of that
That's
game?
what. I don't
It was like
remember.
56 to 20 something.
It was not good. Let me see if I can find that. I know it wasn't a good score. I've kind of probably blacked that one out, if you know what I mean.
I'm watching
remember
highlights
that.
from it right now, and it's already 37-14.
Let's see what it says here.
It's just playing video from the
55-14 was the score of that game.
Okay.
And I'm curious to see this. I know they probably had 300 to 400 yards rushing. I feel like in that game against us. I don't know. Let's see if they have any stats on it. Let's see. Where is that guy at? Oh yeah, well, 306 yards on the ground. Kamadre Horace, that was the guy that killed us. 13 carries, 178 yards, and 4 touchdowns. They had another guy that had 3 carries for 95 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, he was a sophomore, T. Davis. So he should be, I assume, will be back. Their quarterback was Jake Hansen, a junior. So I would assume he'd be returning as well. So they've got a couple of guys returning. And let me pull up this chat that Christian had it all for us here.
Yeah, I was watching. I didn't know. I was like, you let them come through, right? You let those, because I was I'm like, why is it popping up, but it ain't coming up here?
Yeah, I have to allow it onto the.
We don't
want some chat like somebody got beat by our
No, let them go through.
I didn't understand it first. So I just kept reading it. I was
I can pull it up the chat overlay like that. I mean,
oh, that's cool. No, it's all right. I just didn't know. I didn't know.
Like Ben said,
Christian, just let you know, I'm actually reading what you're writing, Christian. I'm reading it. I'm so.
He said they're going to try to come in to our state and beat us. Yeah. And then he had the score right from last year.
Yeah, he had it up there.
See, like I said, yeah, you prepare for the game this week, but the only motivation is 55-14. I'm putting it in everybody's locker. 55-14. That's what happened last year.
Oh, and actually, Deuce played quarterback last year. It wasn't even Tyler Jones. Deuce came in relief last year at quarterback, so Tyler didn't play. And I don't know if he was on the team because he was a punter, so I don't know if they just didn't think he was ready at that point, or what was the case. But
that's it just made him hungry. So he good now.
So I just want to see pads popping, and hey, let's get going. There's nothing much. I want to see. We don't have to say
regardless of what happens. I want you to respond. Don't lay down and just take an L. Respond.
Okay, so
things don't always go your way the first half. It don't always go your way.
Here's center schedule. This he's talking about. Don't let that 0-3 record fail. They lost to Gladewater, which they're always a solid team, 15-14. Looks like they lost to Jefferson 28-14, which Jefferson's a small. I think they're a 3A, if I remember correctly. And they also lost to Tatum, which Tatum's good. Coach Holman, and he's got them rolling this year. They're undefeated, I believe. Tatum beat them 68-26. So they got some quality losses. I don't know how you would rank those. We like the BCS rankings, quality losses, but I would call the Jefferson loss not a great one just because they're smaller and they're not. The Tatum one, Tatum's is stout this year, and so is Gladewater, I believe. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, I don't think they'll be taking this one for granted like they kind of did, I think, this past week. Now it's our homecoming. There'll be a lot of people in the stands.
Games like this, you shouldn't have to be extra motivated for. You shouldn't have. You
Hey,
shouldn't
Corey,
have
are
to
you
respond to that.
Homecoming.
Corey? Are you going to be joining us this week in the press box?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Can't make any
Well,
promises. Tomorrow's my
well,
birthday, so I may not be in town. So
hey, it'd be a great birthday present or a belated one to celebrate a Bulldogs victory.
absolutely. I already know they're gonna win. I'm throwing it out there. I just want it to be like an embarrassing score, like 75 to nothing, something like that.
Hey,
I want that for them so bad. I
so
like revenge games.
Corey, let me write that down. You said 75 to nothing.
No, don't write that down. Don't write that down. Write it down.
Oh, that's what he
It's not
said.
a good
What it
guess.
is? 75 to
Yeah, that's what
0.
I heard.
It's not a
Am I,
good guess. I don't want to go there.
Brett, did you say I was on there for spotting?
Yes,
the
you
game?
were. Yeah, you're working.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. I'm not
Just make
announcing,
sure.
right?
Hey, the game starts at 6:30.
I was there last year every day at 6. I was there before you.
I don't know about before me.
Remember, I was before you because I used to have to I was doing the announcing then. I would be up there by myself reading.
Well, for this, we need you there at 6:30.
I'll be there. Don't worry.
You got a spot. You've got to spot some pregame.
I'm making sure I'm not announcing though, right?
I don't believe so. Mr. Whitman should be announcing now.
Nah, because see, that's how they got me. That's how they got me. The first game I announced was homecoming.
You didn't let me finish. Mr. Whitman, which is going to be doing the announcing this year.
Okay.
Just had some sad news that his father passed away this morning. He had open heart surgery and didn't pull through. I don't know the exact details, so I'm not sure on if he will be there Friday night or not. So I'll let you know if we find something out. So just shout out to Mr. Whitman and his family. We'll be praying for you. I know that's a tough thing to go through and unexpected like that. So we'll keep him in our prayers as well. Let's see what we got here for Mr. Blevins. Christian, he's listed as a junior, so I would assume it's the same quarterback from last year. Let's see if they got the roster on their site here. He was, let's see, I don't know. They've got a no. Let's see what their stats say. That'll tell me who's the quarterback. Offensive passing, looks like they don't pass a whole lot. They've only attempted 50 passes on the season, which is it's not a whole lot. 17 of 42. That's not a real great percentage for Mr. Cross. He's a sophomore. So I would imagine we're going to see there's a lot of rush. You got Dixon, a sophomore, has got 177 yards. He's their main back. And Cross looks like maybe he's a running. It looks like they may run a running. I haven't seen their offense. They may run a lot of like a read plays or maybe an option or something. Vince, did you watch any of their stuff?
Yeah, it was showing me some highlights here.
Look, Christian's got a couple
of stuff you looking at. Like, it don't look like they pass a whole lot at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, if they sure don't need to be passing. They're going. I will say this: the two corners have played really, really well this year. Y'all mentioned McFoy earlier, but I'd say Isaiah Brooks on the opposite side as well has played extremely well.
Yeah.
Both corners have been impressive. I think in the past we've had issues staying with guys, and the thing that irks me the most in someone covering is when they don't even turn around or attempt to try to see the ball, and they just run the receiver over, and that's one of the things that's like a pet peeve of mine. Like, I never played defensive back or receiver, either one, so I know it's difficult, but like you could at least try to attempt to turn around and try to make a play. Because when you just run, and every once in a while, I understand, like, hey, I've got to tackle the receiver. He's going to get by me, and it's actually a great penalty. Which I don't agree with the penalty. I don't know about y'all. I don't like the high school 15-yard penalty. I think it should be a spot foul.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Like it's that way in college and NFL.
Rule
Let's
time.
just filter that down. I mean, it's not hard. I just spotted the foul. They took you down there. That's where you get the ball. I think that's an unfair penalty. Like the defense can take advantage of that occasionally. But needless to say, I think I've been impressed with them not only staying with the receiver, but turning around, almost running the route. I don't know if y'all have noticed that a lot. We've been doing that on our other cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do notice. I notice.
I'm sorry. I'm still
Defensively,
looking at some of this. Some of these. It's like they're showing like plays and stuff from last year. So I'm looking at it as it's going. And
we've been pretty good
So
against the run this year thus far. So I give him that. We haven't given up any
yeah,
many big plays, except for
yeah.
yeah,
the
that's
Hollywood
well.
game.
I will say the Hallsville game was where they did kind of. There was a few plays, and I think that was just like I said. It was first. You know, game opened up. Hallsville, did they score on the second play or something like that? Like the first play was, or was it the first play? I can't remember, but I think maybe the first play was like a 30 or 40-yard pass or something like that, and then I think they scored early, but then we slowed them down. We don't give up
There
a
was a
whole
lot of
lot of plays though.
there was a lot of missed tackles in this game that really was something they
Yeah,
hadn't done in the first two.
they
We
tightened it up
talked
real
about the
quick. They
yeah,
tightened it up.
It's
it
too
was a
comfortable.
whole game. Yeah. So let's talk about kind of we talked about at the beginning since we have more people on. We're going to pick some games. And if you'd like to pick with us, feel free to make your pick known in the chat. Corey's going to keep up with that. Vince may write it down too since he didn't believe Corey's going to keep it correctly. So Vince, you're welcome to write yours down. I trust y'all. I kind of remember who I picked usually, so I'm not too concerned about that. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick some
Mystery
games,
policy.
and we're gonna keep a running tally of those games. And if you are able to outpick us, we'll invite you on air and let you chat with us and voice your opinion as Christian, we don't have any off topic picking on anybody's favorite teams. There won't be any. There's no negative Cowboy talk. There's no negative Texan talk. There's no negative 49er talk. No negative talk. Any of that kind of stuff.
There
We
will be
won't allow
negative
that.
cowboy talk as long as I'm on here.
Well,
It's all in good fun,
well,
Christian.
then,
It's all in good fun.
yeah, I see that, Corey. Hey, let me just say this: if you'd have told me that we lost to the Patriots, I'm not Patriots. I'm thinking Tampa Bay Bucks by only a couple of points, I would have taken that before the game started. I'm just going to be honest. I was impressed with Dallas.
I give them Dallas credit. It wasn't impressive loss.
And this is my only concern of that, and I'll get off the Cowboys. Elliott didn't look good. Now I don't know if that was Tampa Bay's defense just keying on him, or if being a fantasy owner of Elliott, I'm a little concerned. So other than that, Dak came back. He looked great. The ankle looked fine. The shoulder looked fine. He played well. The only mistake they made is they scored too quickly and gave Brady a chance. And I'm a Tom Brady guy. I like Tom Brady, but
I mean, everybody makes
too much time. So other than that, I'm fine. I know y'all's two teams got your W's on. I mean, Vince played Jacksonville. That's a college team, so I won't really count that one too much. They got.
I told y'all
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I said Texas was gonna sneak that win in there because everybody's not paying attention to them. They were gonna get it in
because the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're a college team, aren't they?
You got Sunshine over there throwing football. Everybody
Sunshine at quarterback. Oh man!
Everybody believed that he the new Messiah. So I mean, I went with my gut. I'm like, they not paying attention to us.
Yeah, but
I don't
Troy
think we're
Aikman's good
gonna.
too, but not in year one.
I think honestly, if I had to call it, I think we're gonna win probably 7. I go 8. I go 8-8 this year. 8-8.
Mm,
I go
9-8.
mm.
Now, also that depends on Tyrod Taylor. He got to stay healthy.
They're
So
not going to play that 17th game. They're not.
oh yeah, I forgot they do got a 17th game, huh? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say a losing
All right.
record. I'm gonna go 9-8.
I know. I got us off topic. So let's pick some games. Y'all ready?
Let's
Go
pick
ahead.
8 games.
All right.
8 games.
We'll do our seven district, like us and 6 other district games, and then we'll pick a special game. I guess maybe. Is that good? Or is that what y'all want to do?
That's fine.
It don't matter.
We'll keep it. Well, and then once we get to district, we'll pick some other ones. We'll expand our to make it 8, so we have 8 every week. That works. All right, so y'all want to start out with our game, I guess. We'll just start out with that one since we're talking about it. And I think Christian has already picked that one. His was, here we go, 45-21 was Christian.
I got him.
Anybody else that wants to pick the Chapel Hill game? That's the game we're on right now. So just put your score in the chat and we'll get it written down. I'm going to get Chapel Hill, Corey, and I'm going to say they're going to win 56-7 this week. I think that motivation from last year and just homecoming in general, they're going to come out and they're just going to light up the scoreboard, and the defense is going to be clicking off cylinders.
56-7. Okay. I'm going again with my identical score last week, 62-14. That's what I'm doing. Putting up 60.
I'm gonna say 42-17.
Anybody else got a score for this week's game? If you put in the chat, we'll get you in. So just get in the chat. We'll move on to the next game I see on the schedule, and this one is interesting. Gilmer at Lindale. Wow, Lindale, another tough one. I'm going to go Gilmer. I think Gilmer's too tough. I know it's in Lindale. They'll get a lot of calls there because they always do. But I think Lindale is just too tough. I'm going to go with Gilmer.
So Gilmer, okay. I'm going Gilmer.
I'm gonna go Gilmer too.
There's Christians. He even gave us a score. All right. The next one is going to be Canton at Maybank.
I'm gonna go Canton.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Maybank. I think they've been impressive so far this year, and Canton's not a predominantly strong football team normally, so I'm gonna go with Maybank.
I'm going with Maybank as well.
Christian has Canton. He's gonna say 38-28 or 33-28. Sorry. So next up, Athens at Wills Point. Athens at Wills Point.
I'm going Athens.
I'm going to take Athens as well.
Athens.
All right. Van at Pittsburgh. Or why am I picking that game? Van's not in our district. But I was going to say Van, but that's not one of our picks. Next one's the one I'm looking at. Kilgore at Gladewater. Now that's an interesting one.
Now, but I'm picking Kilgore. Then they're not gonna lose 2 weeks in a row.
I think so too. I know Gladewater's tough, but I'm kind of with you, Corey. I don't think they lose again. They're gonna be ticked off if they lost to Pine Tree, a basketball school.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kilgore with
Let's see.
Oh, Glaywater. Okay.
Christian said Glaywater, 46, 38. Well, all right. We got Henderson at Spring Hill. I'm taking Henderson.
I'm going Henderson also.
Mm. 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 I'm going Spring Hill.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Okay.
Henderson Biggs, what 11 says. All right, so we need one game. We need one big game out there that we need to pick for this week.
Waco to Vegas. Waco to Vegas playing somebody.
They are, because I remember seeing that one. And I can't remember who it is.
Versus Argyle?
Or is it Salina La Vega? They're playing somebody good. Christian wants to take Allen Legacy. I don't know about that one, Christian. I think
that's gonna be an L. We all know it's gonna be an L.
Legacy's gonna get beat. We don't need that's not a tough one. Let's see if we can find.
Yes, they play Argyle.
Argyle. Well, are you gonna pick? I can't pick against Argyle. I'm just.
What my pick is. I don't even know why y'all ain't brought that game up.
I don't even know. Yeah, do we want to take that game? Because
Oh no, it's gonna.
It's
gonna be at La Vega High.
I still don't think it matters. I mean, we can pick that game. I'm going Argyle if we do, because I've seen Argyle, and they're impressive.
Okay.
What do you? I mean, we gonna pick that one, Corey? That's the one you want to go with? It's fine with me. I like the matchup. I just don't know if Argyle. I wouldn't call them untouchable, because nobody is. But I mean, I think they're one of those teams.
Somebody gonna have to impress me up front for me to pick against Argyle, and I don't see that right now. So.
Yeah, do we lose Corey? Corey kind of froze up.
He froze. Uh-oh.
I think it's. Did you hear him pick Waco La Vega? I think he did. I think Corey picked La Vega.
Corey.
This segment sponsored by Suddenlink Communications.
I know, right?
Hey, I think Corey was working on us a sponsorship, but I don't know if he ever heard back from him.
Dang. Yep.
Oh, there's Corey.
There you go.
Hey, Corey, did you pick La Vega by 3 touchdowns? Is that what you said?
Oh, not at all. But I did pick La Vega.
Oh, you did pick La Vega. Okay. Christian, we need that. We need you to pick that one.
Argyle will lose. They're losing. They're not going.
So you're just going to pick it. You're going to pick against them every week.
He's just going to keep picking against Argyle until he writes.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like, winnable games. Like Salina was a winnable game for Salina. La Vega is good. And they're playing in La Vega High. So no, they're not going. You're not gonna keep testing the waters and not gonna get a shark. Come on now. Hey.
That's what they said about Allen, and then they won 80-something games in a row or something like that, wasn't it? When their home winning streak. Did y'all see that? The home winning streak was snapped?
Yeah, I saw that.
It was like 80-something games. Oh, here's your pick. Christian's going with you. He said La Vega too. All right. Well, if anybody watches this later, and wants to join us in the picks, just feel free to comment all those games, and we'll get you added into the Pick'em contest. Remember, if you're able to beat us, you will be able to come on and join our conversation here for the next week. So if you're interested in doing that, he said La Vega by 2. Okay. All right.
And mind you, this will be in La Vega. I keep mentioning that. It will be in
Yeah.
Vega High. So
Do you know something we don't, Corey?
No.
I'm just saying it gets rough at Waco. That's all I'm saying.
All right. All right. Well, y'all got anything else tonight? We got our picks in. We talked about we gonna count last week's in, right? We're gonna count our record last week as well because that's when we started it. I think
I didn't have all the
how many did we
forward. I
pick
didn't
last
have
week?
all the forward. I didn't have them
We
all
had
recorded down. So
we had what 7 last week or 6
yeah, I think
or
7
8? We
games.
had 8 last week. We had 8 last week because we took Argyle and Salina. We
Yeah.
had 8
Yeah.
because we picked all 7 district teams, and then I believe we went. I went 7-1. I believe you did as well, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
And
went 6-2.
Vince was missed 2. I think you missed. What'd you miss? You kicked Kilgore with me. You also took Palestine over Rusk.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I picked Russ.
We can go back and watch the film.
No,
I mean,
I didn't. No, I didn't. No,
we
I
do
didn't. I
have
did
tape
pick
on.
Palestine. I remember
I
now.
can go back.
I remember what I said. I
Was he
said that
3
there ain't
losses?
nothing in Rusk. That's what
And
it
you
was.
pick you pick Did you pick Lindale too? So he's
That's 3. I lost 3.
5-3 for Vince.
5-3. Okay.
So
I did. I went up to that. Yeah.
I enjoy. This makes it fun. It kind of gives us a little. You can still win the week, but you got a chance to try to total it up.
Okay. So my big one will be the Spring Hill and the Vega game.
Yeah.
So my big one. Spring Hill with the upset. Book it. Book it. Spring Hill with the upset. Book it.
And this isn't basketball, Corey. You do realize that.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that it's bound to happen. They had a good week last week. They beat Whiteo pretty handily. And so hey, they're rolling right now. So just saying.
Hey, I just want to let y'all know, I got an email from Jarrett Jones earlier in the week. It was either in the last week or earlier this week, and he reached out. So he's working at KTVB now, and he's interested in helping us during basketball season, doing some commentary. So So shout out to Jared. Glad he's even with working at the news station, he still wanted to help us out. So I'll miss calling his number and his name on the court this year. I think they're really going to miss him out there in more ways than just one. But it'll be good to see him around, get him to help us get some inside perspective on Coach Akimba Johnson that we might not have, inside the locker room.
It's gonna be a little different, watching from the sideline and playing.
I know.
It's gonna be a little different.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll realize that it goes by quicker than you think once basketball season turns around. Looking back 20 years now, and it just seems like yesterday, but so long ago. All right, well, y'all got anything else? Anything else y'all got for this evening?
Who the Longhorns play this week?
It don't matter. It's got to be.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It could be a W. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Is it bad that I'm not as excited about this week's game as I was the last two? I'm just not as
I just want to get the season over with now.
I know, I feel like that. And on one hand, we have a lot of talent there, but on the other hand, Sark didn't recruit this talent. No. So these aren't his. He's got to recruit his guy, and it's hard for me to let him get a pass for that. But he really deserves one. I mean, as bad as everybody would think, there's all this talent down here, but he didn't recruit either one of these quarterbacks.
No,
and you know who's on his radar. Who would be a game changer for the Longhorns? That is one of his top picks is Texas. He hasn't committed yet. 23 class, Arch Manning.
Oh, you talking about, yeah. I honestly,
they said he's better than Eli. Because
I know
he's better than Eli and Peyton.
Yeah, I know that Texas is like one of his his spots, but for some reason I just don't feel like he's gonna end up committing.
You wouldn't think so, but Sark has like quarterbacks, like he's got good track record with quarterbacks, and so I think that's a big draw for him. I think he also has some friends that he's played, like, whatever, I don't know you, but whatever they play in football wise, that are going to Texas as well. I saw him posing some pictures with some other guys in that same class. So I mean, as much as I've rooted against Eli, I was anti Eli and Peyton. I just didn't like him because everybody else in my family loved the Mannings, and so that's why I started liking Tom Brady, to be honest with you, just to root against the Mannings. Wow. And then I started liking Tom Brady. Yeah. My mom would be ecstatic if a Manning went to Texas. I mean, she is diehard. Y'all know what my mom was. Diehard sports fan, diehard Longhorn as shit. Yeah. She loved the Mannings, like, she would think she was like their best friends, like that. She just loved them. And now
I didn't know she loved them.
If one came to Texas, man, that would be like,
you gotta say it like an old man. You gotta say it like an old man. That's Archie's grandboy.
I know.
That's Archie's grandboy.
Hey, speaking of the Mannings, did y'all catch any of the Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli, like kind of side commentaries? Y'all know they were doing that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was interesting. They had a Seattle guy.
Is that who was talking during the game? That wasn't who was talking during the game, was it?
Well, it was on ESPN2. They had a different broadcast. They had the game, and instead of the regular broadcasters, they had Eli and Peyton, and they had Russell Wilson. When I tuned in on there, like they were talking about kind of things that were going on in the game, and then talking with him, kind of like as a quarterback that's played these teams, like different things. It was rather interesting. Like, you got to imagine
every week.
I don't know. It's a new deal, and the quarterback IQ in the room, that's a ridiculous amount.
I can only deal with one Manning at a time. I don't know if I could have two.
I know normally I don't, but like I thought it was kind of interesting, especially since I wasn't really interested in the game a whole lot. But it made it kind of interesting because you got to listen to it from their perspective, kind of like some of the things that were going on. I don't know. It just made it. I probably wouldn't have watched as much as I did if I wasn't like, hey, this is kind of interesting.
And
then shout out to Drew Brees for not looking like Drew Brees. He looks like a totally different person.
Who? Shout out to who?
Drew Brees. I didn't know I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, he did look like a whole other person.
Yeah.
Who's the better Manning? He says
Archie.
Peyton.
Peyton.
Well, Peyton. I mean, yeah. I think I didn't like Eli that much more just because he played for the Giants.
Eli was awful.
And he beat Tom Brady. And he beat that lucky whatnot catch.
Throw.
That was the luckiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. I mean,
Eli is lucky, and he is blessed to have a good defense and good hands, wide receivers that can catch. And man,
Peyton just was not just a quarterback, but he was almost like a coach on the field.
Yeah, he was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think that's what made the difference between the two. Eli, I mean, he was still good on the field, don't get me wrong, but I think that was the difference in Peyton. I mean, even at the end of his career when he couldn't throw, man, he'd somehow call a play or change it up where he could get the ball to him. Like, it was kind of sad toward the end. You could see his arm; he just couldn't. That's what amazes me about Brady, man. Did y'all see the thing, like his release, and it's just as quick a release now as it ever has been on him? He's 44 years old.
Brady, ain't nobody ever sacrificed how Brady done sacrificed. That boy eats. That guy eats like fruits and berries and stuff. He don't eat no meat. He don't eat no bread, no nothing. I don't know if he drinks milk.
He's married to a model.
He don't look like he aging.
He's married to a model. They know all the secrets.
They know all the secrets.
I guess, but it's impressive.
That's awful. I shouldn't say that.
Well, I just want to shout out to all our sponsors that have sponsored us throughout our broadcast this year. I've got my Bulldog Sports Network hat. If you're interested in buying a hat, reach out. They're $15. All that money goes to help support our fun we have out here. It is fun for me. It's not we make a little bit, but it's not for the money. We spend a lot of time. Yeah, we spend a lot of time and get to enjoy these kids and all this time that they're out there busting their tail every day in practice. They're the ones doing the work. We're just out here getting to experience it with them and bring it to you as Bulldog fans. It's a lot of fun. And so anything yeah, well, I got a seat for you.
High school.
I mean, you can be unjealous during football season, Corey, because I got a seat for you Friday night if you can make it. Yeah. I cleaned up the press box. I got room for you right next to us.
Oh, okay.
So if you bring your headset, you can join us. But we'll have the game this Friday night on TexanLive.com. If you have any questions or have any problems getting on, feel free to reach out. I'll be probably going live at some point before and after the games. I try to share the link and post it out there so everybody. I think I've already shared the link for this week's game. So, but if you have any questions, reach out. I guess we'll just we'll call it night. Vince, you have anything else?
That's it, man. I ain't got nothing. That's it. Let's play ball. Come on.
Yep, I'm ready. Should be a good turnout. Lots of familiar faces out there. Should be a good crowd for homecoming. And so
okay. Ball you got there, Vince. See, okay.
Huh?
Yeah,
Vince is ready. He's ready to go hoop.
I got my football somewhere. Oh, it's over there. My daughter was running around with that earlier. So.
Again, if you missed our pick'ems, go ahead and post it on the chat. You can post anytime up until the game time. We'll get you down and get you in the contest to try to beat somebody on this video chat and see if you can get a chance to get online and talk with us. We'll be glad to open that invitation up. So be sure to share this with all your friends. Let them know. Try to get us some more likes in our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So, I'd like to see double digits a little more during this broadcast. Let's shoot out for a goal, man. We want to set a goal. We need to set a viewership goal for next week. What y'all think? 20?
15.
15?
20.
20. We want 20. We want 20 to
be some people. I didn't see Hector in here tonight.
Hector wasn't here. We were missing who else were we missing? We're missing several regulars tonight.
Adam wasn't here,
Hector. Somebody else wasn't in here. We got several. So try to make it if you can live. If not, we understand. Make sure you just watch it and share it later. Again, this whole thing, we can talk back and forth all day, but what drives this is y'all's feedback. So Christian, we thank you for contributing tonight. Most of the things you contributed were good. Were good stuff. We had a few.
You already got Christian. You already got it.
We appreciate everything. And so for Corey and Vince, I'm Brett. We'll catch y'all next time right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
We out. Peace.